ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos. And off we go from Denver. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Now ETN to start the drive. Room here to run. Uses the stiff arm. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds. To 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Jags, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
He's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. They'll get 34 yards there.
That's a great job working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw into the hands of the receiver, Chenault. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. The Broncos sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down.
But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Escaping the pressure right. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 11 yards for number 11. That's a great example right there to remind everyone of what a weapon he can be as a mobile quarterback, Charles. Nice play to escape the pocket and get his offense into the red zone with a first down.
And defensive coaches losing their mind on that play because they knew about his mobility coming in, and they preached all week long. If he gets outside the pocket, find receivers in your area and cover them. Otherwise, plays like that will continue to result.
But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Play action. It's Wilson. Touchdown! Javonte Williams from 4 yards out. And the Broncos are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 55 rushing yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first down, right back to Etienne. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Lawrence will throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. They go play action with Lawrence. Going right side here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. 51 yards. And the Jaguars have moved out in front. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton. It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Denver. 55 yards. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he slings one that's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now a handoff running through the middle. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. This will be spotted at the 20, so it's a 30-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
On second down, a run with Etienne. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 108 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Lawrence to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Draymond Jones showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And see, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A huge play there for Denver. 41 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Here's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Josh Allen, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
They'll try and throw for him with Wilson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. He's got the first down and more than that. Touchdown, Broncos. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Point after here coming up. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
They go play action now. Wilson. He'll dump this one off to Hubbard. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Throwing is Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced the punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
On the counter, ETN. Ooh, the juke. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 127 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now Lawrence. And he will find Ridley on the left side. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 4.
Now Lawrence. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now left side on the swing pass. So nothing doing there. And it'll be second down. Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. Well, that's the third interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
On first down, they'll start out with Hubbard. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. They go play action with Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on third and 9.
36 power.
Now Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a second and 6. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. 145 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Play action. It's Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Broncos are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Play action. Now Wilson. Checks this down to Hubbard. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Well, clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play. Set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Devon Hamilton with the tackle. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes,
he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Baron Browning able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. It's Ridley. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is intercepted. And that should do it.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back early in the game when he threw a second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
Right back to Hubbard.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Good gain there on 1st down. And keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. To me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. have some fun.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that's caught inside the 35. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Lawrence. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
It's a throw again is Lawrence. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
A final shot now for Lawrence.
He's got it. So this one will wind up a Denver victory.
Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for the Broncos.